Meet Anka Tomescu. She is a veterinarian for Four Paws International Animal Welfare Organization. Anka has traveled the globe doing disaster relief for some of the worst natural disasters on the planet. Back home in Romania, Anka has a 4-year-old daughter, Sara, who she misses terribly on these trips. Sara and Anka have a pact. Wherever on the planet she finds herself, Anka must give a gift to a 4-year-old child on behalf of Sara. The continent of Africa is a place of extremes, from the rainforests to the deserts, alpine to the savanna. Kenya is situated on the east coast of Central Africa, covering some 580,000 square kilometers with a population of around 39 million. Agriculture is the second largest contributor to Kenya's gross domestic product. Production downturns periodically necessitate food aid. For example, in 2004, aid for 1.8 million people was needed due to one of Kenya's intermittent droughts. In the north of the country, the Samburu people have a profound relationship with their large herds of cattle that they keep. The livestock has a prominent role in the lives of these semi-nomadic pastoral people, particularly because milk makes up a large part of the Samburu diet. There is also a deep cultural and social dependency on these herds of cattle. Mother Nature has not been kind to Kenya. In 2009, she vented her anger with devastating consequences. The worst drought in living memory has left 10 million people short of food. Over 500,000 have left Kenya's rangelands in search of forage for their livestock. The Uaso Nyiro River, a lifeline for the pastoralists of Samburu, has dried up. Three million head of cattle will die countrywide. Most families will lose their animals far from home. The strong bonds that held families together in past droughts is breaking down. In Maralal, a town to the north of the capital Nairobi, the cattle, a breed known as zebu, are sold to makeshift state abattoirs for a fraction of their market value. As they take their last tortured breath, starving crowds gather meters away to harvest what was once left of the majestic zebu. A military presence is needed here for two reasons: to control the crowds and to offer protection from bandits who patrol the region looking for healthy animals to abduct. If needs be, they will kill to lay their hands on such animals. The meat from the emaciated carcasses is distributed free of charge to families in desperate need of a meal. Some polite pleading scores a lucky individual more than one piece.
Okay.
These children and their dog have a reason to be smiling. Tonight they shall have a decent meal. Life is hanging by a thread for most families in the Maralal region. Women and children have been left behind while the men are out searching for jobs or selling their dying cattle. The drought of 2009 has turned Kenya's rangelands into a dust bowl of death. International Animal Welfare Organization, Four Paws, has arrived in Kenya to put together a disaster relief effort for the beleaguered Samburu people. The advance party consists of Dr. Amir Khalil and his assistant Karin Krunier. They have to set up meetings with organizations that can supply the relief effort with medical supplies and fodder for the dying cattle. The challenge is that they only have one day to organize the entire operation.
Okay, this is perfect. Okay. We have tough day also in regarding the logistic. We have to buy all the logistics, the groceries, the medicine, the disinfectant, the equipment, everything have to be in time, paid in time. The transport, explanation to the team. So apparently you will arrive today late evening to some poor region, which means we need security to join us on the road because it's still very dangerous situation there.
Protocol is critical when working in most African countries. Getting a meeting with a high-ranking government official at short notice is an impossibility, unless, of course, you are a very demanding individual, which Amir is, even if it means meeting with the Regional Director of Veterinary Services, Dr. Sangok, in his car whilst he is on his way to another meeting.
So we were active in tsunami, in Iraq war, Kosovo war, and when we get some report about the situation, the drought situation in Kenya, we decided we are able to help offer. We are cooperating also with the Red Cross, and we decided this time to do something for the animal in the region and the community.
Yes. There's something I'm not understanding.
Yes, please.
In Kenya,
Yes.
one is we do not allow,
Yes.
the veterinary board
Yes.
does not allow
Yes.
a foreigner
Yes.
to do an animal health intervention
Yes.
without
Supervision.
the board's approval,
Yes.
the veterinary board.
Yes.
What is easier for you
Yes.
is to give capacity
Yes.
to Dr. Wanganga
Yes.
and his team
Yes.
to do it on your behalf.
Yes.
That's what it
But we
is.
can assist.
The meeting was successful, and Amir has the green light to start the operation. What's happened, Amir?
The colleagues arrived at the airport. We will go now to fetch them because we need the car.
A team of 11 from around the world has gathered in Nairobi to assist with the relief effort. The best way to describe Karin's role is that she is responsible for the organizing of everything that relates to the well-being of Amir and the rest of the group. Ioana Dungler, based in Vienna, is the project coordinator.
I hope I'm strong enough, especially emotionally, to handle this, because I never saw animals dying in these dimensions.
Cornel Stoenescu is a veterinarian based in Romania.
What I heard from Amir, it's not so nice. I'm very curious. I can imagine, you know. I'm just waiting.
Ralf Luger from Germany is the team's IT guy.
I don't know really what to expect. I think a lot of things I haven't seen yet. A lot of trouble.
Romanian Stelica Patrascu is a man of experience when it comes to disaster relief operations. Dr. Anca Tomescu is the team's second veterinarian.
For the moment, I'm here in Nairobi and I think it's nice and perfect. The nice tree, the blue sky.
German Patrick Bonko is the team's jack of all trade. He arrived in Kenya, but his luggage did not.
Right now I'm without any clothes for the next 10 days that we stay here, so I think for me it will be pretty tough.
The last team member to arrive is Dr. Marina Stradum, a veterinarian from South Africa who is involved in looking after big felines at Four Paws Lions Rock Big Cat Sanctuary. With everyone safely in Nairobi, Amir gives a final briefing about security, an issue on everyone's minds.
And please, 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 security. Never lose the nerve. If even you will see somebody, 10 persons coming with Kalashnikov, with guns, never shout. Give all what you give, put it outside the car, and that's it. But don't take money, so you don't need to lose. Put maybe 100 Kenyan shilling with you.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to suggest.
Just
that we have some
100.
small
This is what
amounts.
I done in my case. I put some small things, and I dismiss it from the car.
As Karin and Amir make final payments for the medical supplies, it is hard to believe that just 4 days earlier they were the victims of a terrifying ordeal while traveling in an area not far from where the team shall be based.
This was very bad experience. Somebody tried to stop us. We thought he wanted to take a lift. We hear the shots, catch our car. We find the second person coming with his Kalashnikov, and they start to shoot direction our car. My colleague was wounded in her leg. I have wounds in my hand. So I believe we have luck. At the end, they decided to leave us. That was bad experience. Very bad.
Amir and Karin's experience is on everyone's minds as the last supplies are packed into the waiting vehicles. The journey to Maralal will be a long, dangerous trip. Due to the urgency of the situation in Maralal, they shall drive through the night, a time when they shall be most vulnerable to attacks from marauding bandits.
We are driving now to Samburu Central, to Maralal. It's about 380 kilometers from here, but the road estimated will take between 6 and 7 hours. 120 kilometers from them are very tough road, bumpy road, dusty road. We'll arrive very late in the evening today.
A few hours out of Nairobi, the team joins up with Simon Lesarima, the Minister for Security and elected representative of the Samburu constituency. The local government has organized an armed escort for the night drive. It is a relieved convoy that meets up with the security forces, about 100 kilometers from Nairobi. Most of the team are exhausted from the long journey to Kenya, and all fears are put aside as they grab what sleep they can before arriving in the drought-hit area at sunrise. The armed police are a welcome sight for the tired drivers, as there is still another 5 hours of bone-shaking dirt road to cover. Although the distance is only about 200 kilometers, the road's condition and thick dust make the journey seem endless. After an eternity, the darkness of night is wiped away by the rising African sun. The Four Paws Disaster Relief Team reaches their destination.
Wow, we made it.
After a brief rest, everyone meets in the dining area at the Maralal Camel Club, their base for the duration of the operation.
I don't know from what he was, but
There is no time to waste, as time wasted could mean loss of life to thousands of animals in the region. The day's schedule is discussed. The first region to be visited is Lomolok, an hour drive from Maralal. Communication with the outside world is vital to the success of the operation. Ralph sets about making contacts with Four Paws headquarters in Vienna.
I want to send some pictures back to the headquarters from the situation right here, so they get actual information about what's going on. Slow but working, good enough. At least they can send some information. I'm not sure about the picture.
Finally, everyone is ready to start what they were sent here to do: save the lives of as many animals in as short a time as possible. The sheep and goats of the region seem to be more resilient to the drought. The animals walking along the side of the road are in a fair condition. It has been months since any of these sheep have been inoculated, and part of the relief effort shall be to fulfill this vital need. The reality of what this team of passionate volunteers is about to face arrives with brutal force. Emaciated cattle drop to their fragile knees, waiting for death that is only hours away. The dogs of Lomolok are well fed. They know it is not long until they can start to feed on the doomed cattle. The reflection of the camera in a dying cow's eye is a surreal image of death to come. This cow is beyond saving. It waits in the searing sun for the inevitable. The dog's patience is rewarded. While they gorge themselves on Lomolok's wealth, the word has spread that help is on the way. Some of these farmers have traveled on foot for hours, hoping that they shall return to their homesteads with the same amount of cattle they left with. Unfortunately for most, this shall not be the case. The herds of livestock descend on the volunteers like a tidal wave of pain and misery. Futile attempts by the desperate locals to resurrect their dying animals are a devastating sight. Amidst all this death, there are plenty of firearms. The security looking after the team is well armed as most of the locals. It takes a lot of effort for the animal-loving crew to begin the day's work. Seeing this amount of death at such close quarters is foreign to most of the team members. They are here on a mission, and for the time being, emotions must be pushed aside. The first challenge the team needs to overcome is the way the locals herd their cattle. Here, as in most of Africa, it is common practice to use sticks to convince reluctant animals to follow orders.
Look what is going on there. In our opinion, there is no sense or no reason to beat them. I think if they are gentle treated, then we can be more efficient, we can get more animals being helped, and yeah, it's I think a basic respect that they deserve as soon as they are ending anyway in our plates. So I'm really hoping that there is a chance to convince these people that the animals that are around them and are saving their lives are deserving respect.
Everyone needs to push their emotions aside. It is time to begin saving lives. Most of these cattle have never seen nor experienced a cattle crush before. The crush is necessary as a means for the vets to get close enough to the animals so they can administer the vaccines and antibiotics to the weakened animals. Once the cows are in the crush, the work begins in earnest. This is the first of thousands of head of cattle that are going to be treated over the next few days. The procedure will be repeated until all cattle in the vicinity have received some boost to their immune systems. For many of these walking skeletons, even though they are inoculated, it is too late. Their systems are shutting down.
I would reckon up to now, the number of livestock could be up to 60% of livestock is just gone like that. Prices of the livestock also have come down tremendously, which means that the income that people get even to buy supplements for their own food, payment of school fees, maintenance of their families in terms of medical facilities, all this really impact on the community because of these massive losses.
This community is as exhausted as the cattle they are trying to save. The once strong Zebu cattle collapse like exhausted marathon runners as they exit the crush. Some, like this one, may see tomorrow. While the cattle are being treated in the crush, sheep are being herded into small pens so they too can be inoculated. The numbers of these smaller domestic stock are overwhelming. Cornell, one of the Four Paws vets, inoculates the sheep at an incredible pace. Karine, usually doing behind-the-scenes organizing, finds herself in an unfamiliar situation.
It really is satisfying seeing that we are helping the animals and being involved in the process. It's really fun. It makes a difference to know really how it feels to be with the animals also, not just to do the admin side.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Back inside the tent, South African veterinarian Dr. Marina Stradum has also found herself in a new role.
We're mixing some cortisone for its anti-inflammatory effect with an antibiotic ointment. And then hopefully this will help this guy for his knee. He's got a swollen knee with inflammation in it. Now we're trying to make a mixture here to help this guy. Can you give me more of this, please?
Hi. Do we have them down?
This type of compassion is what makes the impact of an operation like this so much greater. The team of relief workers are seen as a godsend by the local population, and they take advantage of the situation, grabbing all the help they can get. Outside, the tsunami of sheep continues. Thousands upon thousands are crammed into the pens and the work goes on. Anke works her way through the endless bleating river of livestock. While she is busy, there is little time to think who shall receive the gift from her daughter. Marina has finished playing Doctor, and now her skills as a vet are needed. A goat is busy giving birth, or so it seems.
Talk the language. She just lambed. I wonder where the lamb is. It's not inside anymore.
Maybe he just.
So big.
Yeah?
Ask him if he has seen the lamb somewhere.
Now he's saying the goat had aborted. Yes, aborted.
During the drought, abortion among sheep and goat is not uncommon. It is their way of ensuring that only the strongest survive.
But the fetus is out. There, the placenta is out.
Yes.
We're going and give it a bit of antibiotics. And
In this environment, things change quickly.
They did not abort.
suddenly the abortion is alive.
No, this one is not a vita.
Is it this?
Yes, yes, this is a normal bird.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a normal bird.
Cornell, 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 here it is. Something good within all the bad and all the struggle.
Yes.
Okay, now, right. We're just going to give her an injection to make sure everything is okay.
Ioana, who's upset over the way the locals treat their cattle, now has reason to stare in wonderment at one of life's miracles.
Marina, Marina, we have some better.
On the other side of the camp, Anke and Stelika treat the last of the cattle. It has been a long, emotional, exhausting day. At last, the cattle crush stands empty.
We done today over 10,000 animal, which was a lot of work, but there is a lot of also problems we saw today. The animal not need only treatment and the medicine and the prophylaxis, the animal need also water and food. At this we will improve tomorrow. We will realize today 4 water troughs where we can put water. Tomorrow early morning should be 2 water tanks coming here for the animal, and you are expecting more animals than today coming tomorrow. But we agree, me and the team, that we will not leave this place. There will leave really a good impact and sustainable help for the animal in this area.
What was very good was that some of the local people really understood our attitude towards animals, and they tried to speak with the local people. They tried to find a way that to slow down a bit the beating and the brutality. Unfortunately, it's not going to be changed, so it's a long run for these animals and for changing the mentality here. As you know, we have 3 days long to run, so I hope we recover this evening very fast, and tomorrow we are back in shape.
As day one draws to a close, locals attempt to resurrect their livelihood, hoping that tomorrow it shall still be wealth and not a free meal for the waiting dogs. This poignant scene takes place against the backdrop of gathering clouds, clouds that contain life, clouds that lie waiting. After 2 years of no decent rain, the clouds release their cargo. The joy of this unexpected downpour is evident as the team relaxes back at the Camel Club.
It's been raining for the last 1 hour, and I've been receiving phone calls from the local people around here saying that Vienna International 4 Paws have actually brought a big blessing to this region, because they brought free vaccination, free treatments, free advice on how to keep your livestock and how to migrate from region to region. And actually they've brought a big blessing in terms of this rain, and they really appreciate it a lot.
I am very happy to hear this rain. If it's continued till tomorrow morning, it's mean we don't need to transport water to the place where we were today. But sure, the other intervention is still needed. But I wish the rain continues, that we don't need to transport water tomorrow. I wish.
The storm continues for most of the night. The next day, it is another world that the relief team finds itself in. The dust has turned to mud, glorious mud. Overnight, green shoots have broken through the oven-baked soil.
I really have the feeling that we changed the area. It's starting to be green, it's beautiful. And you see the animals, they are so greedy. They just try to catch every single fresh stuff that came to them. It's wonderful.
Word of the team's operation the day before had spread. 10,000 animals were treated the previous day. Today, there were even more.
That's... Are we in a real world, or... Maybe some of them didn't leave last night. I mean, we can hope for that. Huh?
I don't think so.
Maybe they want to come with toys.
They are new animals.
How you know?
Another long, draining day lay ahead for all concerned.
Now it's 10 o'clock and look around us. I think we have double numbers than yesterday. And they are still coming, and I don't know, maybe up to 20,000 animals. And what I can saw, we have more cattle than yesterday. So maybe it will be a little bit difficult, because if it's a little bit difficult to work with big animals than with small animals, but we will manage somehow. We will see.
More and more cattle kept pouring in. The problem was the promised medicine supply from Nairobi had not yet arrived, and tempers were flaring.
I want you to tell me, because you are from the local community or from the local area, what we do when in 4 hours we have here 20,000 animals waiting. Maybe the medicine doesn't come, it's your country, people are not serious, yeah? What we do then?
We need to tell the people what we have and what we expect to do, and what we are expecting.
Yeah? But I don't want to promise to these people that maybe in 2 hours or in 5 hours they will get more.
It is not
because
possible.
something can happen.
The only thing which is clear, we will do our best today, and we will finish all this animal today. We are here to work. It's little delay, it's not on our hand, but we are here to work. As soon as the things are here, we will go on.
The lack of medicine would hold up the day's workload for an indefinite time period. While waiting, an impatient villager led Cornell to his homestead. The heavy rains were not the blessing they were made out to be. These animals are still alive. They will not survive the day.
Have you ever seen this type of starvation in other parts of the world?
No, it's my first time. I'm sorry for that.
The heavy overnight rains would have been enough to push the weakened animals into the mud. Cornell tries his best to keep his emotions in check as he gently stroked the doomed youngster as its mother lay dying. The tenderness shown by some of the young herd boys towards their cattle is confusing. The scenes that upset Iona are in stark contrast to this one. Hundreds of thousands of head of cattle will die in Kenya due to the drought. Feeding them is the only way to try and save those that are strong enough to eat. Four Paws generous donors are providing the funds for truckloads of life-saving fodder to be delivered to the desperate farmers. A gift from thousands of anonymous, caring people. The bales of fodder need to be distributed fairly among all the farmers present. The ravenous cows devour the dried grass as if it is the last on earth. This load of hay is but a drop in the ocean, but it is something. To avoid being mobbed, the team throws the bales from the moving truck. Desperate cries follow the quickly emptying vehicle. Leon Lisirma knows this region and its people well. For him, this is heartbreaking.
They're saying they've got cattle which they left at home, and they want us to give them grass. So I told them, we have to finish the cattle which is here already, and if there's going to be any grass left, we'll give them to them. Yeah, so it's hard, man. It's quite difficult.
It is not long before there are only 2 bales left. Deciding who gets the remaining fodder is done quickly. Marina delivers one of the bales to a waiting farmer. The last bale is hoisted onto tired shoulders and carried away. Being fair in the distribution was difficult.
We've tried to divide it between everybody's group. Everybody's got their own small herd of cattle or small herd of goats. So we've just decided if it's this big, 4 bales, a bigger group 5 bales, a bigger group 6 bales. So all the animals around this working place of us now had something to eat. Not enough, but at least something. Yes, they will feel good for a few hours and then it's over.
Reality is harsh. Towards the end of the day, the long overdue medicine finally arrives, but not the whole consignment. An exhausted Amir is not amused.
The car comes in the evening. You come, you take the next order. You bring the invoice. This what was all. And you told me I am going now, Nairobi. Yes.
Yes, I did, and I went. And I came back. Noromectin you ordered for 50 pieces, but we were short of 2. It's 48 that came.
It's not the point. It's not the point. The team is tired. We don't see the respect which we appreciate. We come from far away to do something here.
Before the team can start administering the medicine to the cattle, once again, the rain comes down. Like the cattle Cornell saw earlier in the day, the sheep were struggling to stay on their feet. Their woolly coats soaked with mud. Their weak legs unable to cope with the extra weight. It has been 3 days since the relief team arrived in Kenya. The hard physical labor and difficult working conditions are taking their toll. It is with relief that the last animals disappear into the arid landscape. This relief would not last long. October the 10th starts with a perfect morning. The rain over the last couple of days has lent a crispness to the air. For the first time, hints of the beauty of Kenya come to the fore. Today is Ioana's birthday. It shall be a day she shall never forget as long as she lives. Longiwani is an hour's drive from Maralal. Amir has heard that the community there are on the verge of collapse. Unfortunately, the information is correct. Anka's search for a little girl to receive a gift from her daughter Sarah is a long-lost memory, as lost as these stolen smiles. These are the scenes from a horror movie playing itself out to an unwilling audience. Carcasses are strewn across the entire length of the small village. Whatever terrible thing has happened here has destroyed all animals in its wake. Watching the last life escaping from this tortured young animal strikes a fear of the unknown into the observer's soul. This could be any manner of disease.
How many animals are dead here?
A frightening place with unanswered questions hanging in the air, thick as blood. Everywhere you turn, death is a common resident. Those still alive wait for what is to come. The team has to leave immediately.
What I saw at the beginning of the town is suspicious for me. I saw a lot of dead animal more than other places. Animals who are also on dying process, I will say by this way. I saw bleeding symptoms which I don't have here any laboratory things which really make me, it is very risky for the team without clear information what's going on here. So it's not correct for my team to work here. And I have to take responsibility, we have to move to other place. It's very risky.
The group is emotionally broken. Ioana is angry.
I'm angry because we came to help animals in an area where you feel the smell of death, the smell of infection. It's a small village where people are living with dead bodies of their animals in front of their houses. And I don't know what we do here. I don't, our team is completely torn because we wanted really to help the animals and we see around that it's not our place. Here it's a place where you come maybe for 3-4 months and you clean it from the scratch. It's hurting. Let me some minutes, please.
Ralph is on his first disaster relief mission and he is in a living hell.
I knew there are places like this, but I was not expected to go there. Nobody told me that a humanity project to go there. That's not animal welfare.
I don't have a problem with seeing dead animals, bodies, dying animals. But what we saw today, this was Hiroshima.
Hello?
Unbelievable.
The convoy stops in the town of Lusuk, not far away from the horror scene. Amir needs to spend a few minutes with Stelika and Anka.
I cannot say sad reality, what we saw. The humans, the animal, we saw things, me and Philip, inside the houses. I hope you will never see things like this in your life again. Or you will have a chance to see things like this. So I'm sad for the people, I'm sad for the animal, which I believe they will die, all of them, in the next days. I don't know what is there, but there is something not okay in this area. From the animal I saw inside the houses. And we have to go to a place where we are able to help or to stop something like this to happen. With this.
We are in the wrong place. We came here to give to the animals water and fodder, and we didn't do that till now, except one truck. And we cannot help these animals, clear for me. There can be anthrax, you know what's mean anthrax. I don't want to bring to Sarah anthrax. My daughter asked me to bring her a pink doll. I don't want to bring her a pink disease.
No. I agree with you. Let us try.
Cornel, how did you feel about what we saw now?
You know, I don't have any words, no? For the moment I'm very affected because for me such a view, it's new, you know? It's really new and it shocked me.
A team talk is called. Amir and the rest of the group need to process the happenings over the last few hours. This is a traumatic experience and they need time to recover from the ordeal.
2 months to stay here.
It was a shock for them because they've never seen, animals dying in front of the homesteads, of people's homesteads. I was also shocked myself to see people, they can't move the dead carcasses to somewhere far or dispose of them. But I need to understand because of insecurity. Everyone has to stay at a specific point. because there's a police post there, and you know they have to be there. If everybody goes to the regional homesteads, they'll be attacked by the neighboring community. But what V8 Fortin and the team saw, it was a shock for them, and I hope they understand that the issue there was insecurity, and I'm asking them to not fear and come back again, educate us on how to dispose of the dead carcasses, and you know, come back.
The decision after quite long debates is that today the team takes a break, and we will use the next hours to relax, to calm down, and to come back to our positive and constructive mood that brought us here. And tomorrow, with the help of Leon, which is our angel in the area, we will use the whole day to help as many animals as possible in this area. And I'm happy for this decision. I think the right one in the moment.
And it's your birthday.
Yes. Don't ask me which one.
That night, Ioana celebrated her birthday with the rest of the team. The mind-numbing trauma is danced away with the local Samburu tribespeople. The next morning, the group heads off in the direction of Losuk. It is the last day of the relief operation, and things get off to a bad start. When the team arrives at the agreed-upon location, it is deserted.
My understanding is that some from the local vet went to the town yesterday and just announced that no program for today, which is not the true. Now we have to reorganize this again to go through a motorbike in town and to announce everyone that you are here today.
The volunteers are now getting used to these unforeseen obstacles, and in a short space of time, a homestead is secured as a suitable venue to continue with the task at hand. The locals spread the word that the Four Paws team is here to help, and the livestock rolls in. Today is the last day that Anka has to find the little girl that can receive her daughter Sarah's gift. She is going to have a difficult time deciding, as today, for some unknown reason, there are more children present than on any other day. There was an inexplicable sense of anticipation in the air. No one knew what Anka's mission was, and not even Anka anticipated what happened next. These children have seen this many times before, and yet they stand enthralled at the compassion shown by this stranger in their land.
So, hello. My name is Kenya, and I have 5 minutes.
The day was progressing smoothly. Fodder was being distributed, and all the livestock that had arrived was being treated. At last, Anka had some news.
Yes, she's a girl. Yes.
So she's the one. I told you, I will feel. So please tell her that I have home a daughter who is 4 years old. She asked me to find a girl in Kenya. She has to have the same age, approximately, like my daughter has.
Yes.
And she gave me a toy to give it to that little girl. But she has to promise me that she will play with the toy, and when she will grow up, she will go to the school. So, please, take it. And play.
We shall never know if this little girl, whose name is Kenny Yai, did go to school. We shall never know if a family survives another drought as severe as this one. Anka has carried out Sarah's wish in a place that is far removed from the comforts of her European home. What we do know is that this group of caring volunteers came to a country unlike any other on the planet, bringing with them gifts. Gifts that will hopefully make a difference to the lives of the people that they touched.